Let me start off with the famous words of the Honorable Willem Faber from the Democratic Alliance. You must listen to this. Now, I've heard that many a time, and then I wait attentively for him to say something. And he says nothing. Honorable Chairperson, I also hear the Honorable Faber talking about incentives. Now, he must learn to listen and read, because in the departments of trade and industry, he will see a lot that we're doing vis-a-vis incentives. It's not the departments of labor's responsibility to provide incentives. Then he is echoed by his dear other colleague in the DA, the Honorable Lond, who talks about wanting to engage with the minister. But however, when we go out to the communities and we do our oversight, he's not interested in being there, because that's where we in the ANC see our priorities, to be present amongst our people. Then he talks about the elite few who go on strike. Now, P.W. Botha did better than that when he spoke about agitators, the agitators, as if people cannot think for themselves. People can think for them. What does it say? The DA's position on labor matters is even more conservative than that of P.W. Botha. Chairperson, but we in the ANC know, and I will speak to it. But let me, before I do that, say that the ANC accepts with humility the responsibility to lead. And we will lead you, opposition. As we have led you to this free South Africa, we will lead you further through political education. Because what happens is the Honorable Mthileni has a wonderful opportunity, 6 minutes to address us. And what does he do? He speaks for 3 minutes. And then when he's on the floor, then he wants to make a noise and shout and things like that. What an opportunity lost to let the nation hear what is it in the EFF policies. Vacuous. Trade union federations like NACTU, FEDUSA, and COSATU, who were established during the apartheid era, following on the proud leadership of SATU and also SACTU, campaigned for the rights of workers even under apartheid. And they were eager and rigorous in their efforts to ensure that the rights of all workers are protected in the constitution of a democratic South Africa. In this constitutional democracy led by the ANC, it is vital that we revisit the Constitution as we engage in this debate on labor. Paramount is Section 23 of the Constitution that spells out what labor relations will be in our democratic society. Section 24 makes reference to an environment that is not harmful to the health and well-being of those in the workplace. Section 28 provides for the protection of children from exploitative labor practices, and that children must not be required or permitted to perform work or services that are inappropriate. Section 34 affirms that workers' right of access to courts and access to fair and speedy labor justice must be respected. There are many other constitutional provisions and labor laws aimed at promoting and protecting the rights of workers. We encourage South African workers to always celebrate the International Day of Workers on May 1st. Workers of the world have to unite, as we know that an injury to one is an injury to all. While interrogating the annual performance plan of the Labour Department, it was a pleasure to observe that such rights are being considered and that the budget makes provision for the work to be done in protecting and enhancing the rights of workers. The Director General of the department admitted to us that they cannot do everything with the money that they have available. He also admitted to us that there are other constraints the department has, but indicated very clearly that their plans that are being presented to us in this budget today are realistic, they are achievable. It is also the recognized policy mandate of the department to, amongst others, protect vulnerable workers, ensure sound labor relations, eliminate inequality and discrimination in the workplace, enhance occupational health and safety, and give value to labor market flexibility. Now, those who vote against the budget, and we know who they are, will vote against these things happening to workers. And then they come to the podium and talk about, we in the EFF promised the workers. But when they vote, they are not interested in what this democratic government is doing to enhance the rights of workers. The importance of organized labor was recognized even by the apartheid state, members of the DA. Note that, although worker rights were seldom respected. On the 1st of May, 1979, the first interim report of the Vian and Rickert Commission was tabled in the apartheid
Honorable
parliament.
Makue, please take your seat. Honorable Mtiliani.
Honorable Chairperson, I've got a membership form that I can pass over to Honorable Makue. He seems to be a spokesperson, so he can immediately come and fill in the form here.
Thank you, sir. You are out of
Thank
order.
you.
Honorable Makue, please
As
continue.
normal, you are out of order. Thank you for being out of order. You're just being consistent through you, Chairperson. The Vian Commission was set up by the oppressive and exploitative apartheid government after the Durban strikes of 1973 and the Soweto uprisings of 1976, what we're celebrating 40 years of this month, next month. The Vian Commission believed that these reforms were necessary for an industrial relations system in South Africa. Now, again, in 1979, under apartheid, look at what they said and listen to what the DA is saying, because their policy says nothing on labor matters. So listen what they say at the podium. 2 years later, however, the Vian Commission made recommendations that the Labor Relations Act be amended to grant black trade unions legal recognition and encourage them to register. There was mischief behind this move. The Vian Commission believed that these reforms were necessary to control the proliferation of black trade unions in the 1970s. They did not succeed. Its recommendations were that governments make sweeping changes to include the following: legal recognition of black trade unions and migrant workers, that the DA is now saying you should not have such recognition. Second thing is abolition of statutory job reservation. The DA is saying that jobs must not be reserved for blacks. Retention of the closed shop bargaining system. They are saying that you cannot have a system that is closed. It must be open.
Honorable Makue, please take your seat. Honorable Faber.
Chairperson, that is a blatant lie by this speaker. And it is proven, as I said, that where the DA governs, that we create the most jobs. So if the Honourable Makue can accept this and please not speak the truth in a different way.
The leadership of the ANC is unquestionable when we hear how the DA wants to raise questions with us. I am available at any time to talk to you outside of my limited time at this podium. The PRASA project is looking at construction of workshop and building training center in Danoto in Nigel. The Labour Activation Program has 4 projects that were approved, and we are looking at the MIRSITA, the Transport Education and Training Authority, the Agri-SITA, and the Wholesale and Retail SITA. The Wholesale and Retail SITA is also focusing on SMME development as well as trades in the wholesale and retail sector. And I, as a delegate from Gauteng, will be working with the Department of Labour to ensure that these objectives become real and to the benefit of people in this country. We don't need to say it just to get votes. The people that knows the ANC knows that we deliver on our promises. 50 beneficiaries are already in training at the Ekurhuleni East College for obtaining a national certificate, also in community house building.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Your time has expired.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.